Get on in here, dear boy.
Oh, it's getting a bit chilly over there in moderator corner, I have to say, in hot spring. Yeah, you think it'd be warm with all those people fending away all the questions, but it was a little bit chilly. Nice and warm in here, though. So, I tell you what. First of all, I'm really pleased that you guys are all okay and you're healthy and well still. So that's very serious. And anybody else out there as well, you know, please stay safe, please stay well. I'm delighted to hear it, because who else would I then have to jibe about the use of English? So that's great news. Yeah. And I think it's probably time we should do some news.
You'll never sneak past producer Paul again. You'll never will. He's on it.
I know. So I've not even teed up the next thing correctly, but I've done it now. The first piece that you can, I'll get you, Paul. I'll get you. I'll beat you one day, I promise. First piece, fantastic. Workflows, fighting yesterday's war. You must read this because the opening section had me howling. It was where's this going? Where's this going? And then it's brilliant. I won't ruin it for you, but the whole article demonstrates the importance of using interactive technologies and now technology of today to support real-time edits to important kick-off meetings, you know, to save time and maintain the correct design elements of any workflow that's going on. The opening section made me giggle because it just demonstrates, it reminds me back in my corporate days, JK, when you spent hours and hours of planning, creating charts, thinking, I've got to put this to the boss and it's all got to be right. And you spend ages and ages and ages till 11, 12, midnight, 1 in the morning getting it all right. And then you start delivering it within 5 minutes. They just land a bombshell on you. And that isn't the punchline, but it's true. It's true. It talks about today's technology that can make workflows far more streamlined and save time and money. And with some digging around, there are some tools, of course, that could perform far better than just the go-to applications which are currently used, that everybody uses. Justin, great piece. What was your takeaway from it?
I thought it was right on point for this week's topic. In fact, I noticed this article about 3 weeks ago when I was planning our last show. I saw this and I said, oh my goodness, I bookmarked it and set it aside for this episode because it's so right on. I think it's worth recapping a little bit of it. Sorry, a spoiler alert. And by the way, all these articles are available down in the resources section below our feet here. You can click them and read them yourself. But it tells the story of an AV salesman going in to bid on a job for I think it was the U.S. Navy. And he and some other salespeople were competing for the job, and they were all told, we want such and such, you know, interactive whiteboards and interactive projectors and touch screens. And so most of the salesmen went off to go bid the prices on those items that the U.S. Navy had asked for. And instead, the writer, our friend of the show, Mark Coxon, hung back a bit and said, can you tell me more about what you're trying to do here? And the captain in charge described the problem he had, where they were doing war planning exercises, war gaming exercises, right, where they'd pretend to sort of fight each other and work on different scenarios. He said we would make our whole plan in detail, and then it was time to call in the admiral and present our war plan to the admiral. And we'd had a very detailed PowerPoint that we'd built, you know, with all the elements and all of those strategic pieces moving together. And within 5 minutes, the admiral would come in and say something like, well, you can't use that sailing lane because, you know, country X has a treaty with country Y. And so now the whole plan is shot. They have to start over. And he said at that point, we're in a hurry in this presentation. We get out the paper maps. We use erasers for represent ships, and we start planning like it's World War II again. And so they wanted something that would use technology to enable them to have a better experience inside the workflows that they currently used. And the punchline of the story, sorry, Matt, I'm blowing it for everybody, is who got the job? The person who understood the workflow, who understood the problem, and then presented a technology solution that was in line with helping to solve that. And really, that's what we're here to talk about. That's your responsibility as the system designer, whether that's the front end of sales or the back end of system design or even the final implementation of the system. You really need to be focused on the customer's problem and the customer's existing workflows and how you can improve those, rather than on what are the pieces of technology available and how can I give them to them and make them use it.
And then, of course, once you do understand them, then it's the time to start applying that technology to the correct understood customer workflow, right? Because otherwise you'll be in a quagmire of there's so much tech out there, is it actually going to fit the bill for the customer. Well done, Justin, for giving all that away. You don't need to read it anymore. You heard it here first from him. But yes, I'm pleased. I'm kind of pleased he did give it away because it is a funny anecdote. Okay, the next piece. Justin, do we need trade shows? Respond.
I had to throw this one in here. Honestly, this is just because personally, and for anybody involved in trade show planning, which I am as the leader of SDVoE Alliance, the last 2 years have been so difficult. Not because we haven't had trade shows, but because maybe we're having trade shows, maybe we're not, maybe we are, maybe we're not, and we're in this constant state of having to plan a trade show in case it happens, but also be ready for what are we going to do if it doesn't happen. And Clive Caldwell, the author of the article, concludes that we do need them. Right? AV is a high touch business. It's a relationship business. My sales buddy Charles always says, people buy things from people they like, and it's true because you're going to have to be with that person and interact with that person for the long haul in an AV system. Right? They're going to be there to support you, and you're going to need them to just be someone you like working with, because it's not a simple, buy it once and be done transaction. So trade shows allow people to get together, to know each other, and allows us to have hands-on with the technology. I think it's ironic that AV is in the place of enabling this new world of hybrid working environments and more working remotely and things. AV is at the center of enabling people to not have to get together so much. And yet AV really benefits from all of us being able to get together. So with that said, we're currently planning a trip to Barcelona in May and Las Vegas in June. And let's hope those shows happen this time.
Fingers crossed. And I love the fact that Clive makes clear reference to the range of environments which may need to be perfected to sell products outside of the trade show, such as, and I quote, broadcast quality programs, podcasts and seminars. Well, here to you, Clive.